Ooh.
I just saw you right there. I just saw you. But maybe we could work on something.
Yeah.
We can put Dora's head on it.
That really sounds like Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, the bit at the end. That's quality subvids.
Thank you, Subvids. What a great intro. I love that.
Get used to it.
Am I posting tonight?
No, you know what? I think we all just have a freeway talk about the game.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We don't want any. We're all equal tonight.
All right. Look, we saw the game. Lineup. Let's start with the lineup. What do we think of the lineup, Yaba?
Okay, I've just got it up. Just gonna have a look at what surprised me was the centre back pairing. They always say don't mix up the centre back pairing too much, but he's done it today, and I think it's a good thing from Ruud because you're giving Lindelof and Evans game time and keeping them sharp and motivated. You know, this is something you should do, and I think what we haven't seen a lot over the years with Ten Hag especially is rotation. And I think with the big squads that you have, you should be rotating. And I think with the 5 subs, you should be making more subs and getting fresh legs on all the time to maximize the game. You know, sometimes it spoils it by changing things. You can't get that rhythm. But I think when you make a lot of subs, fresh legs coming on, if it's done correctly, it will be a positive thing and a nightmare for the opposition. The centre-back pairing done well today. It was a good game to play them. We wouldn't want to see that pairing in the Premiership, maybe. Wouldn't trust Lindelof because he hasn't had game time. But I'm sure he'll be coming off with a lot more confidence than he has had for the rest of this previous season. Well, games where he hasn't played, and he hasn't played for ages. So well done to Lindelof. And who knows, in the next coming weeks, we could be talking about him playing and being our number 1 centre-back. You know how it goes.
Yeah, but hasn't he played like every game that Ruud has managed, or at least come on?
It's funny you say that, yeah, because didn't you mention the other day that we brought him up when he came on the other day for a little cameo in midfield? You said something. I can't remember. What did you say about that bath time?
I said it's Lindelof strikes me as a player that Ruud trusts, and he's one of those players that he wants on the pitch for the difficult moments.
Okay.
And it's again because he started like. Binder and him started against whoever it was that we played in Europe. I can't remember.
It wasn't 20. It wasn't.
No, hang on. Was it Leicester actually that they played again? It was Leicester, isn't it?
Leicester.
Yeah, and then Lindelof came in off the bench in the game against Chelsea, and now he started again tonight. I think that I think Lindelof might be having a slight renaissance under Ruud. He probably trains well. Amarin might have asked to see a little bit of him on the pitch as he played a lot in Portugal, didn't he, before he came to United?
Yeah.
I thought he was actually all right tonight, to be honest, Lindelof. He had one shaky moment in the first half, but I think he defended okay, and I think Johnny Evans was good again. I need to see that moment where the ball got played through and that guy was just in oceans of space that Anana said. It looked to me to be a problem with Casemiro and Ahmad that led to that. But I'd need to see it again. But I wouldn't write Lindelof off just yet because he also did a lovely bit of carrying in the second half. He brought it up the pitch and stuff. Like Lindelof is I think he's a very good squad player, like reserve player, not a first teamer. But I think that when you look at the amount of centre backs that you need to have in the Premier League now, in terms of the sort of reserve players at City, Liverpool, Arsenal, the teams challenging for the title, I don't think Lindelof is too far away from that quality. Certainly, when you look at that young City lad last night getting eaten up by knockers or whatever he's called.
The thing is, we've now got 5 centre backs. If we are going to be playing with 3,
yeah, we need a few more.
Maybe that's an option.
Did you think it was weird that in the first half, Casemiro in the sort of first and second phase play was pretty much playing centre back.
Not weird, no. I didn't think that was weird. But I did see that as well. I did kind of notice that with Casemiro.
Well, when I say, I mean, do you think that that is something that that Casemiro could be considered for as a sort of a centre back for Amorim or something?
I don't know. Didn't we? For what I've looked at in the past with Amorim, one of the centre backs does come into midfield in the build of play. So maybe that could be it. But I still don't know. We're talking about it like Rudy's sort of laying the path for Amorim to come in and sort of tweaking things already for him. I'm not sure if that's happening or not, but obviously we need to have those sort of discussions. But really pleased for Lindelof today. I think he didn't sort of shame himself like Tyrone Mings yesterday, who's been out for ages.
What did Tyrone Mings do?
He's forgotten the rules.
Football. He picked up the football from a goal kick. The goal kick very loud in the box. The goalkeeper played it to him, just like 5-yard pass.
When he picked it up,
picked it up and put it back on.
My man, pick up Tyrone Mings. I love Tyrone.
He gave away a penalty for it. They lost the game.
Oh my god!
It cost the game.
No one's messaged me about that, and everyone knows how much I love Tyrone Mings. I have no idea. Oh wow!
Yeah, there's no other surprises apart from Diallo playing, but we get to him obviously.
What about Bayinda? Like, no, you don't. I like having a cup goalkeeper. Onana's been great this season well, not great, but he's been good this season, like in my opinion. And do you not think when you look at the top clubs, Yabba, that like a lot of them have this system of a cup goalkeeper, and that it must be for a reason?
Well, I think when you look at Ortega at City and then look at Keller in Liverpool, these guys could be first choice goalkeepers, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But you only know how good you are once you start playing. Clearly, we don't see enough of this guy to sort of make a good judgment on whether he's a good goalkeeper or not. The other day when he played in Europe, or he did play a game, was it Barnsley?
Leicester.
No, it was Leicester. He made a slight error. Didn't he punch something and it didn't sort of go to plan, maybe, and they scored from it. But people can be critical at the highest end, at the highest level. I haven't seen him make too many mistakes, but we haven't seen enough of him. So I think we need to see more of him to make a proper judgment on whether he should be playing cup games. We saw that with Henderson and De Gea, and that was basically to say, well, I thought that when Henderson and De Gea were competing for it, it was to say, all right, let's have a look at both of you because you're both good. You've both been doing something good in training. So you're going to have to get game time, both of you. But with Onana and this Turkish guy, I think it must be a case of you're not good enough. We're going to play Onana. And just like you said half time before, I do believe we're starting to see Onana. I was watching him today and I was actually thinking, you're becoming a good goalkeeper. You're restoring the faith of the fans. You're no longer this jester or clown. I've seen him play some balls which Scholes would have been proud of. And I'm wondering, you hear stories of in training of Paul Scholes saying, right, I'm going to hit that bin over there, or I'm going to hit that tree. Ping, ping, ping. I think Onana can do that too. His distribution is really good. And when he pings it and it goes straight to the man, people are just getting used to it now. But I'm still in awe, like, wow, I can't do that. And he's a goalkeeper.
Well, you're a top goalkeeper now, Yabba, aren't you? Move into goal. I find that quite interesting, what you're saying, because for me, the improvements have been more about claiming crosses, shot stopping, not looking like he's made of jelly. But Mr. B, you were at halftime, you were very unhappy about the kind of distribution tactic that we were using from Onana.
Yeah, they just kept on punching the ball like a quarterback to Ahmad. And the fact that it was an air pass, he wasn't hitting it long, so Ahmad, had something to chase. It was up in the air and he was always battling for headers. Even when Rashford came on, it was the same thing. I don't understand. I do not understand that tactic one bit. Hit it to his feet, or maybe you can't. Say it had to.
You think it's not him just doing it? It's like an instruction. Is what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's an instruction. I really do, because Ahmad Garnacho stayed out that side and he didn't hit it on the right. It was always to the left, And then even when Marcus came on, again, Marcus won a lot. Right, he won a few more headers, maybe because he's slightly taller, but it was the same thing that he was doing. I just think it's ridiculous. We do all of that passing back, all of that keeping possession, for him to whack the ball out of play and give the opposition a bloody goal, a throw in.
I'm not. I just said the opposite, didn't I? I didn't probably see that. I didn't really take that in. It's interesting.
I'm more with Mr. B on this, to be honest. Like, I think, Yabo, we've had a conversation before about how one of my main annoyances with Onana is that we rarely see him like hit a fullback switch. That normally it's like he's banging it up to Garnacho or something, and maybe I'm a bit biased and sort of remembering that at a higher frequency than I should. But I think it's interesting. Mr. B is saying the same thing. But I've got no issues again with Onana tonight. When you need him, he turns up now. It's a different player.
I mean, can I ask you? He cost us so much points last season. He actually got us kicked out of the Champions League. He cost us. He did. Yeah. He singled. Can't even say single-handedly. He single. What did he do? Single. I can't even say single-fistedly. Can we? Well, look, whatever he ain't got now. Anyway, and now this season, he's a completely different goalie. He's like, if he had played half of what he played this season, we would have got out of that Champions League group. This season,
he finished last year, okay, didn't he? Like the last 2 or 3 months, like we saw better performances from him.
Yeah, maybe you're right. We said earlier about his claiming crosses and being a dominant sort of goalkeeper in that respect. I think he's settling down now, and I think he's starting to realise what the task at hand, being the Man United goalkeeper. And we've had some great goalkeepers over the years, and we just got rid of one with Gea, who was sort of on the slide. So he's come in now, and he realises that he needs to perform better. I think he understands that he needs to calm it down a little bit and make more saves and be more commanding and communicate better. Get the respect of his teammates or the back four in front of him, or back three, soon to be back three if that's the case, and start distributing the ball the way he can. Because that's his strength. Strong point is clearly is his distribution. And I think, like he's saying, he doesn't play the short ball, or Mr. B was saying about flighting balls, which are not going to get anywhere. I didn't see that. I missed it. But what did sort of make me stand up was the pinged balls, diagonals that he played that went to feet to the wide guys. And I think he's always looking for that. He's always got that option. And he's always got that air of confidence. Even if he's getting closed down, he's going to do a Cruyff turn, or he's going to just pop it off or do something smart.
Yeah.
So and I think that sort of confidence gets around the team. It gets to the point where no one's going to rush him because they think, I don't want to be looking stupid here. Against this guy, what's the point? He's only going to play it off, or have the ability not to get flustered in those situations. So he's slowly, for me, becoming a better goalkeeper before our very eyes. So I hope the fans will get behind him and support him, because you need a good goalie if you're going to be winning leagues. We only won leagues with great goalkeepers, and that's been proven. So come on, Onana.
Agreed. Should we do some comments?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing them, or does someone else want to read?
Can I do them?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right,
Yeah, can you do funny voices for each person?
I'm no good at that. I'm no good.
Like how you think they speak.
All right. I'll try that. Let's try this one, because V just said he's an African brother. I don't know people's background or where they're from, but I'm imagining now, V, because you said something about my African brother. I think you must be African, so I'm going to go with West African voice. Sorry to mention it, Rich. People just said it happened live on the pitch. It frustrates me. That's South Africa. Sorry, not West Africa. Iron Titanium's in the house as well. I'm assuming he's Hindu. He said, I am not here to watch a freeway.
He's from Manchester.
All right. I don't know. Some reason I think you're Asian, South Asian or something. Forget the voices. Let's go back to mine. B saying here, could we get a new intro with cartoon avatars of Mr. B and Yaba? And we could get a video intro of a pigtailed woman as well. And that'd be fun. Did we do that one time, Mr. B? We were asked to do like some video shots of ourselves. doing that pose. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. D's bouncer pose.
Yeah.
Not coming in.
Oh, what were we
That's a good
thinking?
idea.
Oh
Speak
my
to get some
god.
bits on the phone. Stuart Marshall, how you
Oh.
doing, man? He said first half was shocking. Ahmad by best player on the pitch by country mile. Onana, most clean sheets in the Prem. Shame we can't score. I'm Titanium saying being there should play in the cup. We had that discussion, so he thinks he should play. Onana, Onana is decent. Would still prefer David De Gea. Onana, you're starting to play like the man you were born to be. Onana. There's a load of score rankings, player rankings here, because Andrew's not around, so he's taken over. V, you can see them there. Rude, come on, Rude Van Nistelrooy, Rude Boy Van Nistelrooy. Yes, indeed. Stuart Marshall saying Zerchi was class. I want to talk about him a bit later. I've been saying for weeks that Ahmad should start over Rashford, says Kieran.
No, I think he should start over Garnacho.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Onana made a world-class save tonight. God bless him, my African brother. That's why I thought he was African. And I failed with the voice. Ahmad should start again on Sunday. No question about it. Oh, Andrew's in the house. So there's his ratings. You can have a look at that, guys. You were Jamaican acting like Bob Marley. If I felt one of you was Jamaican, I would try. And well done, Yama. You'll be superb in a panto. Oh no, I wouldn't.
Oh yes, you would.
And we said better saying a better team would have scored with those chances. Yeah, we just talk about the game. Don't waste your breath talking about Zanyava. And Cormac's in the house as well. There you go, guys. That's a comment so far. Keep them coming and press the like button.
All right, should we talk so at halftime, Yabba, I came on and said that Ahmad was really properly annoying me.
Really? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm still saying it. He didn't play well in the first half.
Okay.
And everything that I said he needed to do, he did in the second half. There was one point in the game, I'd say maybe 50 to 60 minutes, maybe, where we absolutely had them pinned in, right? We were recycling the ball really well. We let them off. We let them out with an Ahmad shot. But what Ahmad was doing in this period is he was being direct and quick in his actions. He was taking shots. He was taking shots on his right foot. He was trying to pass the ball. It was much, much improved, not just from him, but from all of them. And my disappointment is that we then sat back. I hate the way this team wants to defend Leeds.
They're scared. They're so scared.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's what it is?
I do. I think they're nerves. They've lost. We've lost 2-goal leads late on. You know, we've had teams go 2-0 up and score 3. I just think they've got nerves. Bath time until they. Maybe it's going to be a system change or something that they learn in training that gives them the clean sheet, that gives them the confidence maybe to start playing. Because that next 10 minutes after we scored the goal, I was convinced they were going to score. I was absolutely convinced that they were going to score. Yeah, Poak, yeah. After we scored our goal, that 10 minutes, I was just sitting down there thinking, these fuckers are going to score. They're going to get that one chance. But they didn't, to be fair. And then the couple of chances that they did have, obviously, we were lucky. I think we were lucky in bits.
This to me comes down to sort of having experience in your team. So I watched Inter Milan against Arsenal. They went 1-0 up and they just not shut up shop, but they absorbed the pressure and they never looked like conceding again after that, only from set pieces like corners and things. They look a bit vulnerable. And it just reminds you of the days, when there were great clubs in the past. You'd go 1-0 up and you might as well just go home because they would just see the game out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, we're not at that stage yet. And I just think it comes down to a bit of in-game management. Stop playing these Hollywood balls. Stop giving the ball away. Slow it down. And I just think sometimes the crowd has a part to play in that as well. Because I think, no disrespect to fans or anything, but sometimes in English football, they want to see you attack all the time. And when you're 1-0 up, sometimes you've got to slow it down. And if you do that, you might get a boo or a sigh in the crowd who are not educated to understand, hold on, we need to there's no need to bomb forward. This is game management. This is what we're supposed to be doing here. So I want to see the players take more responsibility like that. I think we used to do it under Fergie, being 1-0 up. We learned in the there's 2 games I can think of, 2-2 against Barcelona in '94, and then we went to Barcelona and lost 4-0. Now the 2-2 was played first, and it was rush. We scored. Lee Sharp scored a little back heel. It was up and down, it's back and forth, but they controlled the game. They showed us an education here, controlling the game. They were like 15-minute spells where Barcelona under Cruyff were really sort of about, even though they were down, they were losing to us, and they still controlled the game. So, wow, look at this.
Yeah, but I think a more up-to-date example of that is Bayer Leverkusen with Michael Ballack did that to us just before Carlos Queiroz came in. So for our younger viewers, for my younger fans, let's try and use more up-to-date references.
But just explain what you mean. So we're playing Bayern Leverkusen, a tight game, and we were maybe being a bit too rash and rushing too much, and they had spells in the game where they completely controlled it.
So European football, a lot of it, certainly when dealing with Premier League teams, has been about controlling the game with the ball, right, in Europe. The only real exception to that is Jose Mourinho's Porto and Inter sides that controlled the game without the ball. But what that meant is that it removed a lot of the stuff that makes English football so powerful, because you're not running at teams, you're not overloading them, you've got to do the work. That fitness is in defense. As the game goes on, you get more stretched. So if you then play a game of transitions, if when you get the ball back and you don't score, they're going to get it again, and you've got to start again. More time ticks away. You've got to be much smarter with the ball in European football. And United, as much as everyone thinks Fergie's Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney team was this mind-blowing, romantic, free-flowing style, go and watch the European games. We were really static and much more concerned with keeping hold of the ball. And you've kind of got to get the balance right between it. And tonight we kind of, I don't know if you agree, Mr. B, but in the second half we were treating them Greeks like they were a prime Liverpool team or something, that we had to sit back and we'd only be able to get them on the break and stuff. And we were doing what Yabo was saying, is that when we did get the ball in that period, the crowd were demanding we go forward, we'd knock it forward, and not much would happen until Amad Diallo, as I talked about the other day, he's our best winger at winning defensive duels. He won a defensive duel, and then he went and scored. So that was good. But the rest of it was rubbish.
Look, half time. We all. That's the good thing about football. You were the only. I'm sure you were the only one who kind of gave Amad a shoe in the first half. I thought he was our best player. You said our best player was Casemiro. Yeah. You said our best player was Casemiro. It's all opinions, but the fact that Amad carried on doing what he was doing in the first half.
He didn't.
Yeah, listen to your instructions and scored these 2 goals. Yeah. Okay, fine. He changed. That's fine. I don't care in it. Ahmad was still our best player in the first half, regardless of what he was.
He wasn't.
He was.
What did he do in the first half?
He was running at players. He was committing players. All right, his final ball might not have been great, but he was our best player. Who was better than him in the first half?
Casemiro, because Casemiro made 3 chances in the first half and was crossing from half spaces and was defensively okay in the first half. The difference in Amad Diallo in the first and second half is the speed of action that he was taking. And I'm fairly sure that Ruud van Nistelrooy was pretty disappointed with Amad in the first half, and he gave him instructions to stop messing about.
We haven't even spoke about the pens either.
Well, it wasn't a pen, was it?
It was a penalty.
Do you think so?
Bath time.
Right, fair enough. If you think it's a pen, I'm willing. I just thought he got shoved off the ball. I thought with Manchester City versus Porto, I didn't think any of them were pens either. I thought it was just strength on the ball and stuff. But if I've got that wrong, I've got that wrong. What I haven't got wrong, though, is that I'm fairly sure that Ahmad was given instructions in the second half to start producing actions, which were shots and crosses. And even for his goal, I might be being a little bit unfair here, but I don't think he was trying to score. I think he was knocking it across to Rasmus. And
for the header.
goals.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rasmus, bloody hell. What is wrong with that player?
I tell you, he is a bag of shit. He is proper shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where he can go from here. I'm watching him tonight, and I'm just thinking, like, there's one move he did. The ball's rolled into him, and he sort of does what he does, feels the defender, and tries to, use his body weight to turn and roll away from him. The guy read it like a book, chopped him up, and they had possession. And at that time, I just thought, I could defend against this guy. Clearly not. I'm joking, but but
I know what you mean, though.
It's like, that's too easy, bruv. You're doing basics. Have you got anything else in your locker to sort of, do something here? You've got an opportunity against a team where you should be, stepping up and shining. And with just so much, I mean, the state of strikers in Europe right now is abysmal, in my opinion. And you're playing at a big club like Man United, and you're not shining. You've got an opportunity. They're talking about this Victor guy at
Knockers.
Whatever his name is. Yeah, they're talking
Knockers.
about
Knockers.
Big Knockers.
What's his name?
Jokeres.
All right. Okay.
Knockers.
All right. So Victor Knockers. They're talking about him.
Yeah.
I've heard some really amazing takes on him, saying he's the second best striker in Europe at the moment. And
He's Oliver Bierhoff with pace.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, come on, guys, But if that's the case, people like Haaland would be saying, I got an opportunity to step up here. But I actually think, is he a championship player? I'll start.
Wow.
I'm asking the question, is he actually a championship player? Would he get, like Ollie Watkins, start amount of goals in the championship, like 25 goals in the championship? I'm not sure.
Right, let me ask you this, Yabba. In the Premier League, can you give me 2 or 3 strikers that you think that at your peak you would have an easier time defending than Rasmus Højlund?
Right, I'm not being funny, but I reckon I could mark, like, when I was young, like 20 years ago, I reckon I could handle a few guys, but I wouldn't be able to handle maybe
Haaland. Yeah,
too strong for me, maybe. But someone who's intelligent, that'd be tough. Who can, think. I don't. Just what I'm saying. So if the ball gets played into a guy and he pops it off, give and go, and spins around the corners, and then loses me, catches me in my blind spot, and that kind of thing, and I'm having to worry, and he's giving me like sleepless nights, then I'd say you got something about you. But if it's just basic, Haaland's offering, or Haaland, or whatever his name is, Rasmus Højlund, I think you can deal with that. There's nothing. There's no frill. There's no nothing in the locker that's going to make me think, oh God, I can't rush this guy. I just think every time he gets the ball, clap, 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 or put pressure on him, because he's not doing anything special.
You wouldn't even have to clap him. You just had to wait for him to lose the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
So is there anyone easier to defend against?
I'm looking at the I don't think there's great strikers anymore. There's not great strikers around. I think Havertz would be okay because it's physical. If you can run with him, he's supposed to be rated. I think you could run with him and deal with him, win headers on him and put pressure on him. I don't think he's got that trick or anything, or he's going to get anything away from you.
Havertz is a far better player than Rasmus Højlund.
Well, of course, yeah. But I'm saying, if you're talking about how you could deal with him, I wouldn't be fearful of him. I'd be fearful of someone more like Salah or Andy Cole, or who will give and go and
Chris Woods
spin off you. Chris Woods, I think that's just a physical duel that you might have problem with, but at least you can handle him for pace, Rasmus. Like, we're going back to Rasmus. I just think Rasmus, he needs to really step it up. I'm not seeing anything. Get on the end of it. Even like with the goal, where was he? If that was aimed for him with a header, where was he? He should be. Don't let it just watch it go in. You should be banging it. The end of it.
Yeah, it's your goal. Yeah,
that's your goal. And we see that
in the first half.
McTominay scoring goals. And
yes.
Oh wow, that's good. But really, he should be, getting on the end of things. So I want to see more from his game. Hold up play in the box, movement of the ball, giving defenders worries. I'm sure when we play Leicester at the weekend, their centre backs, whoever they've got, the Belgian boy, whatever, they're not going to have sleepless nights about coming up against him.
And for me, in the first half, Casemiro put in a ball that you should be scoring from, and Højlund not there. Like Ahmad knocks a ball across, and it's a decent header. It's not like it's come off the back of his head or something. He's directed it in that area, and luckily for us, it's gone in. Look, we've had this. I don't buy this garbage from Darius on screen for like 10 minutes. Like, it's enough of that. Like, Andrew's just mad because he lost 700 quid on the American election. But the thing is that Rasmus is never where he needs to be, and he's always just missing it and stuff. And
do you think that can be taught?
Yeah, like you don't just like if it can't be taught, you'd be out scouting like maternity wards and stuff as they pop out. Like it's got to be able to be taught. And on Monday, I'm gonna do a big thing on Portuguese training and how they try and teach you these things. There is hope for Rasmus because he's a bit like Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is better, but where there's a lot of stuff there where if he can get it all together, he looks like he's got the foundation of a really, really good player. But it's the fact he's either too late or too early to every bloody thing in the box that really worries me.
I'm wondering if I'm not saying we've bought a turkey. I'm not going to say that, but he's not going to be the guy that we want. I think he will get replaced if he doesn't do it in a year. I think he'll be gone.
Yeah, it's got to be churned. I mean, I can't quite remember him very well, but Forlan was a player that went on to have an excellent career, was a top forward in Europe. And the only thing I can really remember, apart from the Liverpool game, was he was going to take a penalty in Europe, and Roy Keane pulled him off the penalty and said, "That's not how you get your goals at United." And it didn't work out for him. But was there, when you were watching him, do you sort of think he lacked this, he lacked that, or is there any comparison with Rasmus?
No comparison at all. I'm just
okay.
He just is a two-footed guy who could strike the ball really well. He just needed to learn. It wasn't like back in those days, you play up to him, hold up, link, that sort of, it's just basic stuff. Play it into your feet, York, Cole, Buff, Hughes, lay it off, go for the return, get numbers in the box. I think Forlan is a different breed. He's a very talented player. I just felt that he wasn't given the opportunity to really show his talents, and we didn't really play to his strengths. He went to Spain and was Golden Boot winner, and top goal scorer in the World Cup for Uruguay. This is a guy. If you give him, look at Griezmann, for example. He's a talented player, similar to Forlan. Drop off, great shot on him. Peel off, intelligence, this sort of thing. This the sort of player would cause you nightmares in a way. Physically, you might think you better deal with him, but the intelligence is there. So Forlan, different category. He's a top draw player.
So he had everything. Like Ruud would have been in the team then. It didn't quite work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but he went on to prove himself.
Right. So we've seen Rasmus for coming up to 18 months now. That is normally the maximum amount of time that I'm willing to give a player at United. But I mean, what annoys me so much, Yabba, and I'm not doing a dig here, but his competition is Xerxes, who also we've got massive doubts about. Like, how do we solve this?
This is why I'm disappointed with him, because he's got an opportunity. It's not like he's got guys ahead of him who are better than who are going to get games ahead of him. Because Xerxes off form right now. He's got an opportunity. And so Xerxes come in. He's like, oh my God, I've got pressure. And then Xerxes has a stinker, and everyone's looking to Haaland now to say, you're the guy. And there's no one ahead of him. And he's still not taking the opportunity. He should be so disappointed that he didn't perform today. Even Paul Scholes after the game was like saying, Yeah, it's okay, good game, but Haaland clearly not good enough. You know, that's the saying. So he can never say he wasn't gifted an opportunity.
Yeah.
He's at a great club and he's the main man at his age. There's no competition and he's still not delivering. So I don't know, Mr. B.
I want to see Wheatley, Mr. B. I've always liked Ethan Wheatley, and when you look at the way Knockers plays for Sporting, I think Wheatley might be more suited to that than because he looks like a cross between Xerxes and Rasmus with the hair and things. He's got an extraordinarily long body. I'm not sure about his pace, but I think that maybe, and I hate putting pressure on children, but I think maybe Wheatley could be the way forward.
I mean, look, he'll see him in training. He'll see him in training, and he'll know whatever it is that they look for. They're gonna know whether or not they can do. I mean, Andrew's put in about is it worth giving Chido Martin a go? I just think he's too young. I just think he's too young. At 16, right, he might be 17 now. Unless he's really, banging the door down, then I don't think he'll be ready yet.
Yeah, do you mean physically, mentally, or both?
Physically, mentally, he scores goals. It's I don't think mentally there's going to be an issue with him. I mean, he's
being
tall.
the main striker for Manchester United at 17 years old.
But he wouldn't be the main striker. He would be third choice. He would be a striker. Maybe
right.
His opportunity. Yeah, there's no way he can be first choice. But goals is the currency. He could come in and do what Rashford did. Excel in whatever he did. But physically, I mean, he's tall. But Jesus, man, he looks like a piece of string. He's so slim,
I think it's crazy to when you see the goals that he's scoring. There's no doubt that boy has got a talent that needs to be developed and looked after, but he's doing it against other children in front of 300 people at most. If you put him at Old Trafford against, say, Barnsley, and he's playing senior men's football in front of 60 or 70,000 people at that age, with the amount of time he's had at the club, I think once again it shows a massive failure in recruitment. It probably more than putting Lindelof on as a CDM against Chelsea for 10 minutes. But whereas Wheatley, he's played at Old Trafford. He's much further along his development as an academy player. I think that Wheatley's in that kind of position that Marcus was in against Midtjylland, where he's in and around the squad. He's had a lot of experience of the game model and the training and stuff. Chido, I mean, maybe I've got this wrong, but I'm not sure he's even trained with the first team squad yet.
That's what I was gonna. That was my next question. There's no way he's getting a run out if he's not training with the first team squad to see if he could handle Euro, to see if he could twist up Delit, to see if he could do something against grown men.
Yeah, give Yabba nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Even then, it's gonna be months. It's not gonna be weeks. If he's joining in first team training, he's not gonna, join this week, impress, and then play next week. It would have to be, a progressive build-up. I assume that the first team train physically harder than the reserves or the under 18. Yes. So even that, those are things that he would have to adapt to as well. So I don't think.
I think also, Mr. B, right? There's this thing that you do to new players when they come into training. Yabba probably has done this as well, where in the same way that Keno famously was firing balls at York, saying, who was he firing them at? Was it Rude saying Yorkie used to control them? Right. The other thing you do, especially when you have young, talented players in your squad, that winger who's 17 that comes in, you deliberately, the level I played at, you deliberately beat the shit out of them, and you make sure that the coach doesn't give them the decision and stuff, because they've got to kind of be able to control themselves emotionally and things when stuff doesn't go their way. And I think Chido probably needs to go through that kind of stuff as well. So when I say, like, is he mentally ready? It's not just the pressure of all the people watching and stuff. It's the emotional immaturity to react where things aren't going your way, and it's important. I don't know. Is it time for comments, Yabba?
Yeah, it certainly is, because there's a lot going on in the comments. So I'm going to have to take it way back, because obviously this Rasmus thing stirred up a lot of talk in the comments. V said here, people say football has changed and evolved, but none of our wingers are as rapid as Giggs, Sharp or Kanchelskis. We still remain unbeaten. Big up Simon Warner. We beat Leicester in League Cup, drew to Chelsea and won tonight. If we beat Leicester again at the weekend, it'll be a good platform for the new manager. Big up to Mr. POTUS 5000. How you doing? He said European matches used to be a lot tighter back in the day. V saying I'm starting to warm to Ugarte. He's going to be an important player for us. Simon saying here, Rasmus a bit quiet tonight. He is on par with Holland regarding missing chances. POTUS again saying a good team will hold the ball and frustrate the opponent over and over again until they break. That's when the goals come from, not these BS shots from 20 yards. Kieran saying I felt sorry for Holland because he's a lovely lad. Now we're going to get on. The question was asked about the quality of the quality of strikers in the Premiership as well. I just think Darius is not.
No, that's about me saying that Ahmad improved in the second half.
I wasn't meant to touch on that. I was trying.
No, you can touch on it. It was just up for ages. It was getting burnt into my TV.
Yeah, it kept coming up. Kieran saying, I like Holland. I just want him to succeed, but you're right. He just doesn't have it. Andrew saying Rasmus is nearly always in the wrong place. So uncanny. Honestly, if Holland can't get the better of his pub team, there's no hope for him. He is so poor. I don't rate him at all. He's lazy as well. I don't know if he's lazy. This is the way it starts. Now, agreed.
Did he say he's lazy?
I don't agree with that. But
I don't think he's lazy. I think he runs a lot. He probably runs.
I think he kids on though. I think Rasmus, like, a lot of the stuff he does is performative, and I wouldn't say he's lazy. I'd say it's more about courage, to be honest. Like, we always see him twerking on a defender. We never see him like getting on the blind side, making a movement, dropping in to receive the ball. Like,
playing with his head and not his body. Yeah.
As a midfielder, when you look at him, he's never an option to pass to. And if that's what Tyrone means by being lazy, I agree with him on that.
So just touching. So we're talking about Haaland and how good he is. Andrew saying here, agreed. Solanke, who's playing for Spurs now, is mid, but is one of the top 5 strikers in the Premier League. So and Haaland's probably not in that top 5. What's his name? Knockers. Get him in ASAP. Xerxes and Haaland aren't at that level. So we struggle with people. The fans believe we haven't got the strikers. Man United's red. in Europe, says Simon Warner, having a dig. Fernando Torres would give it. He would be hard because he's got pace, hasn't he? And,
do you know what else he's got?
What?
He's got a tattoo on his arm written in Tengwa, which is the imaginary language from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you're joking.
No, he's one of me.
Okay.
Nice to be.
POTUS saying here, Haaland doesn't do anything. He just has his back to goal and doesn't do anything, basically. V saying here that there aren't any top class strikers around anymore. I want to say hi to Grace. Talk about Welbeck. Apparently, the rumor was that Ten Hag wanted to get him in. Probably didn't realise he'd already been a Man United. Yabra is right. Who out there is like a Rude or Henri these days? Not many. Big up to our very own founder, the first man of the Man United agenda, Solo. It says big up to everyone in the chat. And if you're asking who the best strikers in the league today, as Andrew always likes to give ratings and scores, he said Haaland. Second is Watkins. Isaac is third. Solanke 4. And Duran, the Colombian striker from Villa, have 2 in the top 5.
I think Jackson's better than Duran.
Okay.
I'm not so sure about Isaac in that list, but I don't think that's the worst list that I've ever seen.
It's not a great list, is it?
No, I mean it's not. I mean it's the list is terrible about the quality of player on it to be the best. But I mean, in terms of what we have in the Premier League, I don't think that's a bad list.
Big up to Jeff in the house. How you doing, Jeff? The referee from Texas. He's saying big up all. Ahmad was mint tonight. What a great winger. He's saying there. And big up to Agile Beast as well. How you doing? Rasmus keeps running into the centre backs and keeps peeing me off every time he does it. He needs to make a sharp movement so he's open and an option for a pass as well. And there's loads of chat there about strikers, and they were talking about the young guy Obi Martin as well. Just played in the under-23s in Europe.
Okay,
incredible. So he's doing really well at that level.
Yeah, but under-23s is big. Like, I thought he was in under-18s like that. Like,
I think he scored 4 goals within like 15 minutes the other day, the under-18s. And he was
yeah,
doing
exactly.
that at Arsenal. But you're saying there's a step up, basically.
Yeah, if it's the under-23s, like that's very encouraging. Like, that's for being fast-tracked, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously they've seen something in him, Bath time, and like I said, these are professional. These are professional coaches with, well, you know, all of the fandangles that they need.
Yeah.
If they put him in and they think he's ready, then he's going to be ready. There would be no need to rush him. Like, if he's 17, there's no need to rush him. But if you've got this guy,
there is a need to rush him and Amas because of the first team.
You say Amas ain't going to get no game time, boy.
Yeah, but we know Wilcox wanted him in last season, and Rude isn't putting him in, like, you know, the like Leicester with a weakened team, a Greek team at home. Like, there will be pressure to get, like, you know, to sort of get results and things. We've got these great young players that look to be the best in their age group by a long, long way. You know, we lost, was it Alvaro Fernandez? Like the left back that went to Benfica and things. Like, I bet you that players in that youth team are looking at, like, how their mates are doing, maybe even players like Angel Gomez, and thinking, like, you know, if I can't get in ahead of Rasmus Højlund, who look at the way he's playing tonight, like a drunk builder. Like, how, like, maybe I should get him in. And also, shout out to Mason Mount, who just suddenly appeared tonight. I'm glad he's recovered from a cut on his head. What a warrior.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. He's Obi Martin is 16, turns 17 on the 29th of November. So still a young talent. Yeah. Sorry, just going back to Tyrone, just wanted to clarify. He says here about, you know, the lazy comment. He said, regarding my lazy comment about Højlund, I don't see him pressing or moving into space to receive the ball. That's what he meant.
Okay. Where do we go from here, Yabba?
Well, I think we need to talk about, because there was a comment on the commentary on the TV that I think it was for Paul Scholes said, or maybe Robbie Savage said, that Casemiro and Ugarte are looking very strong and looking like they will be the mainstay, the first teamers going forward. You've got experience there. Both talk Portuguese. Casemiro, I know if you erase the last 2 years and think about him having him on the side, he's supposed to be this world-class DM who's done it all for Real Madrid. So he's got something about him. So Casemiro and Ugarte look like the double pivot in what is a double pivot driven team under the new manager. Arguments.
Well, I think Casemiro, you know that I've always had a love-hate relationship with the pudding. I have a similar one with Ugarte, to be honest, for exactly the same reason. Is that they both dive in too much and give away too many silly fouls, and that could be that they're having too much space to defend, but I suspect it's poor training and poor technique. But there's no doubt to me that Casemiro has really been pulling it out of the bag since Erik ten Hag left. Like, he's played much, much better. Ugarte, I think he had a bit of a... he was pretty poor, I felt, against Chelsea. But he was very good against Leicester. So maybe, like, that consistency is about it, like, playing with Casemiro will help him out there, like, to find that consistency. But I think that they are really, really good together. But my issue, Yabba, is Christian Eriksen. who I think alongside Onana has been our best player this season. I think Eriksen's been our best outfield player. And I think it might be a bit unfair to sort of jettison him, but I wouldn't mind us to have the midfield three being Ugarte, Eriksen, and Casemiro, putting Bruno out on right wing where he played a lot in Ten Hag's first season, and then having Rashford and Garnacho fight it out for the left wing spot, or maybe put Bruno into the false nine and you can get Ahmad or Anthony on. But I think that Casemiro, Ugarte, and Eriksen is a very good experienced midfield that has the legs of Ugarte to sort of relieve a little bit of the running that they can't do. So that would be my kind of thinking if I was coming into United.
Yeah, I think, look, we have to agree there's a lot of experience there with Casemiro. And yeah, like you said, you used to call him the pudding. He was trash. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really adapted to the Premiership. But I think now he's shown a lot of character to come back in. He hasn't given up, has he? He still wants to be a part of this team, still wants to represent Man United. You have to give him credit for that. Today he played pretty well. Still think he could slow down his game a bit more, be a bit more experienced. Yeah. Dictate the tempo a bit more rather than playing these sort of...
Yeah, but do you think, though, I think that's a really good point, because he's like a catapult in it. When he gets the ball...
Yeah, that's a great expression. Yeah, true.
Do you think having Eriksen or someone nearer him that gives him a 10-yard pass or something like that, do you think he would take that, as it were, or he would still resort to trebucheting it to Rasmus or something? That's why I quite like Eriksen with him, because Bruno's not as good as keeping the ball at tight angles as Eriksen.
You kind of notice, don't you, when Eriksen's on the pitch, that they're conditioned just to give him the ball, because they know in training, in the five-side games, any kind of drills they do, they're giving the ball, it sticks, and he does something good with it. And the confidence you get from that. I've seen Maz do overlapping runs and all that. And it's decoy saying,
trust, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a trust with Eriksen. So yeah, you probably got a good point there about having Eriksen in the side, because even Casemiro being older and probably about the same age, aren't they? He would pass to him as well, because
look who he played with. When he was with Modric and Kroos, I doubt he was doing what we see. What we see. And Eriksen is the nearest in our team. He's nowhere near the level, but he's the nearest to a Modric or Kroos because of the fact he respects the football and he looks after it. It's his friend. It's his lover. And that's so. I think that our best form under Ten Hag was actually Eriksen and Casemiro as the double pivot. It was Eriksen and McTominay or Eriksen and Casemiro, and it was so I would like to see those three as the midfield, in a triple pivot, a new style I've invented.
Yeah, I think I remember the game when we beat Arsenal 3-1 at Old Trafford a couple of seasons ago. And Eriksen game, and he really. That was sure the best of Eriksen, and I was really excited for that game. He set up a goal, scored a goal, I think, just opened them up. He's very simple with his football, and you need someone like that with that kind of... It's very rare that you get players like him these days with that sort of talent and that sort of dictation of the football, of the game. Someone who can dictate the game in that way. He's a really quality player, but you just got to get the best out of him. And I think what happens is, if he gets roughed up one game, everyone's, he can't, like they're doing Garnacho right now. He's not physical enough. We can't play him anymore. He's not physical enough. But what outweighs that is what you've just been talking about with his ability, and dictating play. And
if you could combine three players together to get the best player, it would be Ugarte, Casemiro, and Eriksen. It would be a hell of a player. You'd get McTominay.
Just to go on that, I think, because obviously we know Eriksen's contract runs out at the end of the season, and there's a report come out the other day that's saying they're not going to talk about it. They want to give the new manager an opportunity to look at Eriksen before they decide about what's to happen with him, because it seemed like under Ten Hag, it looks like he was going to be leaving at the end of the season on a free, but who knows? The manager might fancy him.
No, he's got to go.
He's got to go. He's too old.
Mr. B, if you're a manager, and to you as well, Bath time, if you're a manager and you've worked at Sporting all this time, you suddenly come to a club and suddenly you come to training, you work with players that you've always admired. You might admire someone like Ericsson and think, oh, I'd love to do something.
Yeah, but he might not.
Yeah, no, but shoot, I'm just putting it out there because
but it's about the future, Yabba. Is that like his remit? Think about that. Think about it this way, right? We've got Yoro, Shido, Kobe, Mainu, Garnacho. Like we've got
the centre midfielder Kone. They're raving about as well.
Yeah, we've got this group of young players and a very young manager, and the remit, I think, is that by 2028 we want to be challenging or winning the league, and it's going to be with this core of players. Ericsson, I don't think is that player like that's going to sort of like come in and stuff. And the other thing is I'm not dissing his character, but I don't think he has the presence like a Cantona, for example, that can kind of galvanize these players. So I've got nothing against Christian Eriksen. I think he's a wonderful football player and I want him in our team, but I don't think that he is the kind of player that is going to really improve our long-term chances of winning with this core of players. And that's why I would move him on, because we free up a lot of money, like 250 grand a week. And, you know, like for a Premier League midfielder, you don't need to spend more than 60 million and pay them more than 150 grand a week. Like, and you'll get in a good physical runner and stuff like that. So I think it can be used better and stuff. But it's not a diss on Ericsson. And I understand your point. It's just the sort of context around Amarin's situation that makes me think that we should move Ericsson on.
I mean, the fact that he's going to be leaving on a free as well. You know, it's not like he's got a year left and then he could decide, okay, he'll try and keep him. Ericsson's kind of got to do what's best for himself as well. You know, the club, no matter how good Ericsson plays this season, even if the club are going to offer him, they're not going to offer him more than a year, 2 years. These players want to take, you know, they want 3-year contracts. You know, they want to have the commitment of that. So, yeah he's gone, 100% gone.
What if it coaching role for Ericsson, maybe?
What, at the club?
He
wants to play football.
Okay, then if he wants to play football, he's got to leave Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing I'm just putting out there, I think, because Amarin sees the player like that, and would like, as a manager, you haven't been blessed to have sort of these sort of talented players and players that you respect. And if you come to Man United, you've got Casemiro around you, you've got a serial winner, and Ericsson, who's a talented dream. I'm sure footballers in the football fraternity talk about him so highly, you know, for how talented he is. So I'm just curious whether Amarin initially might want to say, all right, let's see what I can do with this guy. And I know his contract's running out, but maybe we just give him another year or so, because it excites me to work with him, you know.
Right. Would he play for Sporting against City, Ericsson, in Amarin's team that you saw the other night?
Probably not. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Actually. Okay. I don't think he does. I think that, like, the thing is that there's probably like a kind of criteria to an Amarin player, right? If you look at the Portuguese, like, they're really, really big players. Ronaldo, Dalot, Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Pepe, like these kind of big characters that we associate with that team. They all are incredible athletes that are rarely injured, that like have really long careers, that can get around the pitch. Even Bernardo Silva's he's a little goblin, but he was physically abusing some of the Sporting players the other night, right? And then you put the technique and the understanding of the game on top of it. I think the lack of like legs in Ericsson kind of makes him a no-starter for Amarin. And this is why I'm a little bit disappointed that I think Ericsson, as I said, has been our best outfielder this season. But I think his time with Amarin is coming to a bit of an end, because correctly, we need to raise the physical level of this team above all. The amount of second balls that we have lost against Greeks, like, and then Caicedo and Lavia, I'm sorry, they're not very good midfielders in my opinion, and they dominated us physically. Like that's the issue, Yabba, is that the physical floor's got to go up, and that means Eriksen's got to drop down for me.
Interesting that, yeah. The player of our year so far might not make it at Man United. So yeah, that's a good point. You make a good argument there. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. And we are sort of building a good foundation for the manager to come in. We get another win against Leicester this weekend. The manager can walk into the side, which has been motivated, players are playing games, and then he can have a field day just trying to create something. You know, it's like baking a cake, isn't it? You know, getting all the ingredients together and saying,
and all the players are back. All the players are coming back.
Mount's back from his cut.
Yeah, he's going to be working with a full squad. Malassi has been full training for the last, 2 weeks.
Luke Shaw's parachuting in. I bet you Ten Hag is getting mental in Ibiza or wherever he is when he sees all these players suddenly coming back for the new manager. We've got an international break, which is going to be amazing for them. Like, we're going to get a solid 10 days of proper Portuguese training. And if you tune in on Monday, I'll tell you a lot about Portuguese training and why it has ruled football for the last 40 years.
Yeah, you made a good take the other day about Portugal's managers and their love of football and what they're doing in the game so much. You know, it's outstanding, isn't it? The ratio of Portuguese coaches and management. You know, such a small country, they're dominating right now. Man United should look at Matoma as well, the winger. Shirt seller as well, because he's Asian. That's from V. Load of comments were coming through, but yeah, we've reached an hour now, haven't we? But can we talk about what's happening for the rest of the week with the Man United agenda?
Yeah, I'm not here tomorrow. Are you?
Yeah. We got.
Is it going to do a phone in?
Yeah, why not?
How
We can
try.
try.
How can you do a phone in? How would that work?
Just put the link in the comment, and if Mr. B recognises their name, he lets them in. And if he doesn't,
not phone in, like a video where they can actually join the channel, jump on.
Yeah.
All right, I thought you meant a phone.
Well, did you think I meant Mr. B? Give out your number.
Give them my number.
There, talking to Lucky Singh on the phone, going, "Yeah, good point, mate."
Remember those children television programs like Going Live on a Saturday morning? Where they used to have a star on and a live phone in, and the kids come, "Hi, George Michael, you know, how you doing?" And you know, really great to talk to you. But yeah, I think we've tried this many times, and not many people tend to come on. So we're shouting you guys out again. If you want to come on,
they got all the comments in the chat, and when you ask them to come and talk, everybody's got a stutter or whatever. Yeah.
We're doing a preview then tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll do a preview tomorrow. We'll do a preview.
Who are we playing on Sunday? Leicester.
Because Bath Time asked me earlier to do accents for people in the comments, and I'm thinking, hold on a minute, I don't actually know. Like Simon Warner, V, Andrew Williams, I don't know what these guys look like. It's hard, but in my head I would have an image of them, or I know them. I feel like I'm familiar with them from the comments, but I don't know their voice. I don't know what they look like. I can imagine Andrew talks a bit like.
He's going to be a cross between Jabba the Hutt and a Welshman.
Yeah. I know Tyrone. I must say, I know Tyrone. He's a top.
Well, let's get Tyrone on tomorrow if you can.
Tyrone, you fancy that, bro? You let us know.
It'll be a Chelsea.
How you look, but maybe your voice, because for us, you can see us. You know what we're about, and then you can, you know, we're kind of vulnerable to you guys because you know about. But when you don't know someone's voice, Andrew could come on, or say Lucky Singh could come on. I'm like, ooh. You know, I never realised you. Like Emma, she's Danish. I didn't know she was Danish. You know, it's a thing. So,
I bet you Lucky Singh comes on looking like a movie star in a tuxedo or something. What do you expect, guys? What about like? So are we? So on Sunday, are we doing a watch along?
What time's the game?
I don't know.
Because my son's game is he's in bloody he's like 45 minutes away, at 9:30 at 10 o'clock in the morning. So
I hate those games.
Yeah, come when it finishes. I know this is going to be a lot longer than 45 minutes coming back. So I'm not sure.
I'll check now.
Yes, please.
Because I mean, maybe we need. Oh, are you
2 o'clock.
Serious?
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Can we do an 8 o'clock reaction show on Monday?
Yeah.
Or on Sunday?
Sunday. Yeah, we'll do. We have to do something on Sunday because that's Rude's last game. So it'll be either a party or a wake. Yeah, we'll do an 8 o'clock reaction, but we'll see what we can do about getting the watch along done, innit? We'll have to see.
Can you do 8 o'clock, Yabba?
On Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be easier than doing a reaction. I don't finish football till like 1:30.
Exactly. Like I have to watch the football like in our clubhouse / pub for the 2 o'clock games. I hate the 2 o'clocks. I wish they bloody thought about fans more. The scheduling company, but
then they've
football,
got.
Isn't it?
So what's the big?
It's about me.
Yeah, I've realised.
You know something?
Well, Jeff's turned up in the chats. Jeff will come on tomorrow night with you, Mr. B.
Yeah, Jeff, what are you up to tomorrow, man?
Well, he's a few hours behind, isn't he? So hopefully he can get.
Yeah, but he's been on. He was on the takeaway quite regular.
Don't take any annual leave just for the Man United agenda. Your work.
Jeff's celebrating Trump's victory and is just out, like throwing yellow cards and firing a shotgun into the air. It's time of his life, yeah.
Really, one big pantomime, wasn't it? But I'm glad Trump won. I've heard some things he's come out with since he's won, and made me think, okay, that's good. Just to go.
Okay.
No, I just what I think about politics and all that kind of thing. So I just want to see some positive action. And if you're leader of America, you probably see yourself as leader of the world, and you can make really.
Well, I think it's interesting that China has come out today and said we really, really want to get on with America and with the stuff about Taiwan and how volatile the world is at the moment. That's good. That's good for everyone.
You have to recall when Trump was in power before, there was no war, and he had a good relationship with Russia and China as well. And he's already said some things I kind of agree with.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at things like the Abraham Accords, the sort of defanging of NATO,
right? Stop.
A lot of it was set
up. Stop.
Okay,
I will go and leave you lot to talk about
no
Taiwan and.
When are you going to have a shave, Mr. B? Are you like?
I'm not.
Is this for Christmas? Your Santa
I'm not
beard.
having a shave. Yeah. This is. I'm gonna have my grandkids swinging off this. Yeah.
Right, here we go. Jeff could do 9 p.m. He's saying here.
We'll deal with that tomorrow.
All right. Okay. There's lots of chat here. All right. That's enough said. There was something I was going to say as well about. I can't remember now. Something to do with football. It's gone. I'll save it for tomorrow.
Was it about the Champions League format we discussed beforehand?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's been a bit whack because there's meaningless games this stage. You want games to be competitive, to mean something. You want people to be playing to win every game. And I was going to say, it's gone now.
Like a notch.
Yeah.
It's shitting himself.
You know what? One day we can do an off-topic random show, but it won't be on this channel. It has to be somewhere else.
No, you can do it on a channel. Oh God, yeah. I realize why. You could do on. Yeah, but you've got a channel. Can't you just set up a show on your own?
What channel?
Haven't you got everybody on YouTube? You got a YouTube channel. Once you're on YouTube, you got a channel, haven't you?
Oh, I can create my own channel.
Yeah, you can call it Dragons Are Real, Aliens Built the Pyramids. You can call it whatever you want, and we can do a show on all the mental stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Okay. But the only mental thing going on now is Lack a Notch.
Lack a Notch from me.
Lack a Notch from me.
Lack a Notch from me. Do we have what's the outro?
Just play the normal outro.
Not that one. Sorry. The normal.